And so grab a seat and let's talk a little bit more about how that works. So because you're unable to test, as you can see right here, it says how another person can help you is if another person is in a testable state, and I'm going to find that out very quickly, their muscles will react. And upon physical contact, you transmit that energy, just like you saw with the energy ball, and then I will receive the charge of it. Okay? So I'm going to be doing a couple of things here to get prepared for surrogate testing. And as you see, we have a document right here, and this document is what we call the Surrogate Testing Buddy, and it makes sure that I do everything to prepare myself as a surrogate, much in the same way that you prepared yourself to do muscle testing, but unfortunately you were not in a testable state, but we can still get it done today, okay?
Great.
All right, so let's go ahead and go through these items right now. And for your information, this is Document E, the Surrogate Testing Buddy. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to prepare and qualify, and then we're going to follow the steps here to make sure that we're green light go for doing surrogate testing. And so the first thing is for you to read and sign this statement at the bottom. So if what you could do is read this statement right here. Okay. And so let me give you a quick look at that. And I'll read it off for you. I understand that this is for demonstration purposes only. It is not intended to diagnose, treat, or cure any disease or condition. I agree to avoid testing prescription medications during this session. I also realize that I have the human right to use a surrogate tester in any substance I choose to consume. Surrogate muscle response testing is not regulated by any government agency. As such, I take full responsibility at arriving at my own intelligent conclusions of what the surrogate testing is indicating. And I agree to hold harmless and to any parties related to any aspect of this testing. Okay, and so do you agree to that?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. And so let me have you go ahead and sign it here, and then print your name, and then today's date is April the 13th. And it's April 13th. Okay, great, and thank you.
It's my nephew's birthday today.
All right, what's his name?
Carl, he's 12.
Carl? Nephews are fun, huh?
Certainly.
Okay, and we want to make sure, like it says here, that we still have a controlled environment, so we have to keep the kitty out of the room for now, okay?
Okay.
And I can't have had any alcohol or prescription drugs within the last 5 hours, so I'm good to go there. And I just had a nutrition bar, and I had something to eat just before we got started, so I'm well hydrated. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to stimulate my thymus region, just like we had you do it. I'm going to stimulate it to prepare myself for testing. Okay. And I'm going to rotate my shoulders, slowly stretch the arms, and rotate them again, just kind of the same way you did it, right?
Right.
Okay, now let me do my stretch. And down. Nice and tight, 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 tight. And then rotate those shoulders once again. Okay, very good. And the next thing I need to do is to warm up and get a good feel for a comfortable baseline for me, kind of the same thing that you did, right? Okay. All right, and then I'm going to test myself on the poor food versus the good food to find out whether I'm in a testable state. And I should decide my opinion on this product right now. Let's go ahead and turn this way. And I'm going to do a good strong pull. Okay, 175 was a good strong pull. I'm going to do that same good strong pull with this one. I set aside my opinion on these chickpeas right now. Okay, So I'm in a testable state because I'm responding appropriately to a good food versus a poor food. So we know that I've got a green light go for testing. And so all persons involved in the testing, so this gives me the, because I got a green light go, I was 175 on the poor food, and I was 205, something like that.
Yeah, it's up there.
I think it was 205 on the natural food. So that gives me a green light go for testing. And the first thing it says is that all persons involved in the surrogate testing must hydrate. Okay?
Grab that water.
So, yeah, let's go ahead and have you do a little more hydration. I've already hydrated, so I'm in good shape. And we'll also have your daughter do some hydration as well. Okay? All right, so very good. And the next thing it says is to do the 3 E's to prepare the client for surrogate testing. And that's to educate, provide you some examples, common examples of surrogate testing in action, and then through the energy ball to give you the experience of it, okay? So let's talk a little bit more about how surrogate testing works and what each of our roles are in the surrogate testing, okay?
Okay.
So let's take a look at this piece right here. And the first thing to understand is that surrogate testing does take teamwork, okay? It requires, because each person is going to have to make the neutralizing statements basically to clear the air or clear their opinions of it. And because opinions and or negative thoughts, you know, thoughts of doubt or misgiving, these types of things can easily affect the accuracy, because you'll see in a little bit just how important words and thoughts are to creating the outcome. Okay, so we want to make sure we have a good amount of mental conditioning, and I'm going to be guiding both you and your daughter through that, okay? And surrogate testing, of course, works on the principle of electrical conductivity, and you've probably heard of or experienced different examples of it. One of the most common examples is static shock. And so when you are carrying an electrical charge, have you ever experienced touching somebody?
Oh, yeah.
And you felt that there was a transfer of electricity, haven't you?
Yes.
Yeah, and there's no doubt in your mind about it, right?
Shocking.
It's very shocking. And so what happens at a more subtle level is, whether we feel the shock or not, there is a transfer of energy that is occurring. Again, the laws of physics state that it must be so. Upon contact, any conductive field will cause a transfer of energy from one object to another object. It must happen. And so what's happening is that even though your muscles aren't responding for muscle testing, when you place your hand on my shoulder or on my hip, then it will cause that transfer of energy, and because my muscles are responding to the changes of energy, then it will show up as either a strong or a weak response with me.
Okay.
Okay? All right, so again, what my role is pretty simple. My job is to be the muscle, okay? So I'm going to be I'm called the surrogate, and I'm going to be pulling on the bar, and it says here that you must qualify first and be in a testable state, which we have already established. And then before each pull, I'm going to say, these are Jeannie's test results. I am neutral. Now, your role in the surrogate testing is you're going to place the palm of your hand firmly on either my